Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a Christmas card for you guys using some of the products from the annual catalog. This is the fun fold card that I have created for today. Very simple to do, but pretty festive. I love the designer series paper and then the little addition of the stamp here as well as on our envelope to coordinate. So let's go ahead and get started. For our card base, I have a piece of real red. This is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 5 1/2, and then that gives you your half. And then if you just fold that back, you'll get your flap. This is scored at 2 3/4 if you're curious, and you want to use your scoring blade to do that. I also have a piece of old olive. This is just cut down about 1/8 of an inch from the real red. And then we have a designer series paper piece that's also cut down about 1/8 of an inch. So this is 4 by 2 1/2 for the designer series paper. And then we have a piece of Whisper White for inside. That is cut 4 by 5 1/4, typical layer for the inside. And then the ink pads that we are going to use today is the Whisper White Craft ink pad, Early Espresso, Real Red, and Old Olive. And then as far as dies, I am using the layering squares. So I have a normal square and then a scalloped square that we're going to cut our sentiment from. Alright, so let's go ahead. I think what I'll do is I'll start with my stamping of both my envelope and my Whisper White layer. So I have a piece of grid paper here. This can also be found in the annual catalog. Let me see if I have my flap correct. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start with our old olive. And I'm using the Christmas Pines. That's what I forgot to mention. The stamp set that we're using today is Christmas Pines. This has framelits that coordinate with it as well, which I love. This is a beautiful set. There are a lot of stamps in here, 22, and it's step stamping. So you've got lots of things to make dimension with. So I love it. The background. So what I've done is, this is a pretty large stamp. I'm only using my D block, and I'm going to pick this up just like that. So I have quite a bit hanging off here that's loose. That's okay. I am going to ink this up. We're going to stamp off, which is why I have the grid paper, because I want our next stamp to give us a little bit of a different look. So I'm going to stamp that on our envelope. We'll re-ink this now. Stamp off again. And now we'll come in with our Whisper White layer. And I'm going to stamp that here on this right hand corner. Looks good. Let me clean my stamp off on our chamois. So mine is very well loved. The chamois is a must-have. I actually have a few of them. I love them. All you have to do is moisten it with water, and I use one of our clear stamping cases to hold it. When it's wet though, when I'm done at the end of the night or the end of my day of stamping, I'll leave it open so that it dries so you don't have any moldy mildew smell. So just a little tip for that. Now let's go ahead and bring in our second stamp here. I'm just going to line that up over my image, and then I'm going to pick that up, and then we're going to ink that up in the old olive too. And then we're going to come back here. Hopefully my head doesn't get in the camera. And we're going to do full strength of that. And so you really get a nice two-tone look there. Alright, so let me ink this up again. Let's bring back our envelope. Feel like a real branch. Okay, now we will come back and do our little pine cone. So similar technique here. We're going to use our Early Espresso. And I have the background pine cone, I have the larger, I don't know, cone parts. And then this one is kind of what I consider the top layer, and this is what we're going to use the craft white ink on. So we're going to ink up our background in the Early Espresso. We're going to stamp off, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp this in between our leaves there. Same thing here. We're going to ink this up. We're going to stamp off. Whoops, get myself straight here. And this one I might tuck a little bit in. You want to make sure you leave enough room for you to be able to write. Now I will bring in that secondary stamp. We're going to do that full strength in the Early Espresso. Beautiful. That really makes it pop. I love that. Okay. Looks good. Alright, now we will do our Craft Whisper White. And I just like how it softens up that early, makes it look, you know, more natural. So this pad is craft ink. It's a little bit different. Takes some getting used to. And we are going to just stamp that right over. And this is, you can hopefully see, you know, it does tone it down a bit. Now I would give that a little bit of time to dry. The craft ink needs a little bit longer. So we can start to build our card while that dries. Okay. Alright, so I think we're done with our background paper. Let's go ahead and bring in now our pieces. We're going to adhere our old olive layer to the front of our card. Such an easy, fun fold that can be used so many ways. Let me see. Okay. Put a little more down the center. Want to be sure it does not pop up. The Designer Series paper that I'm using is called Under the Mistletoe. It is a set that I have used before. That's very traditional colors, beautiful, simple. I love it. Alright, let's go ahead now and lay down our inside layer. Okay. I love this white over the red. And with that pop of green. See how pretty that is? Alright, let's grab our Big Shot so that we can do our die cutting. Alright, I have my Big Shot here, my magnetic platform, and my precision base plate. You do not need the precision base plate to cut your squares. I just use it quite often, so it stays, it's usually on my magnetic platform quite often. Let's run this through. We're going to get our regular square from our Whisper White. And you just need the square to fit your sentiment. I'm going to do the old olive scalloped square. Love the layering squares. All of our layering shapes are just wonderful because you get the normal shape and then the scalloped shape. So you have all the different sizes, which is so nice to have in your collection. Alright, so we're going to use the sentiment, "May the simple joys of the season be yours." We're going to stamp that in the Real Red. My Real Red is quite juicy, so I'm going to bring back my scrap piece of grid paper just in case I go off. Alright, and we're going to stamp that right in the center. Beautiful. Okay, so we will turn this over, add our adhesive. We will add this to our square. We get a nice border here. You could do a less of a border with your shapes if you choose to. I just wanted to really show that lovely old olive. And then it's just a matter of placing your sentiment on your card. So I'm just going to put adhesive on this one side. And you definitely want to use a nice strong adhesive, either the tear and tape, your multi-purpose liquid glue. I am still using my Fast Fuse, which by the way is a part of the clearance rack, has been updated on my online store. So there were some Fast Fuse refills left, but things are moving quickly. So feel free to jump onto my online store and see what's left. There were some really nice dies out there and lots of pretty ribbons and different things that you might be interested in. So definitely check that out. So that completes our Christmas card. I thank you guys so much for watching. I know I have not been doing as many videos as you're used to. I've had a lot of personal family issues going on, so always be sure to head on over to my blog because sometimes I post there without a video. So if you want to continue to stay up to date with me, and look for new projects, follow my blog at theirishscrapper.com and you'll be sure to not miss anything. But I do hope to get back on schedule soon with my videos, and I look forward to seeing you all then. Thanks again. Bye-bye.